background on this particular scandal that we focused on, which was the scandal called Calciopoli. It was in 2006 and involved pretty much some of the largest soccer clubs in all of Italy. The scandal was first uncovered in 2004 during an investigation of some other incidents of doping allegations at Juventus, which is considered Italy's largest, most successful, and probably most popular soccer club. The police who were investigating this uncovered some conversations between the general manager, Luciano Moggi, who wound up being the central player in this whole affair. And he was Juventus's general manager at the time. Basically, they caught him on the phone with a bunch of the referees, including the head referee, Pierluigi Pairetto. And what it wound up leading to was him and a bunch of the other general managers of major teams caught talking to the referees, bribing the referees, using political influence to get them to favor certain teams, particularly their own teams, during upcoming matches, and so essentially fix the matches to favor themselves. This is a huge deal, particularly because Juventus is involved, being so popular and successful a soccer club, and represents a huge turning point in the history of Italian soccer, because the team Juventus was relegated to Serie B instead of Serie A, which is like the second level kind of. It'd basically be like as if the Yankees were sent down to the minor leagues. That's how badly punished they were. It's also important because AC Milan was another team involved, and that team is owned by the Berlusconi family, particularly Silvio Berlusconi, who was the sitting prime minister of Italy at the time. He's kind of well known in America, at least in part, for his promiscuity and numerous sex scandals. But he owned one of the largest media corporations in all of Europe, and the biggest one in all of Italy. And that company owns AC Milan. So basically, you have the current prime minister who owns the team involved in this scandal. He wasn't particularly the one setting up the bribes with the refs, but you have the sitting prime minister involved in the scandal, and involved with running some of Italy's or one of Italy's largest soccer clubs. It's also interesting because the name Calciopoli itself has a political undertone to it, because it's a pun of the name Tangentopoli, or Tangentopoli, which translates roughly to English as Bribesville. It basically talks about a certain time in Italian political system where there was a huge amount of corruption, mostly in the 80s and early 90s. So Calciopoli is kind of like a pun on that, where instead of Bribesville for politics, it was Calciopoli, Bribesville for soccer. So basically, going back to what Corey kind of alluded to in his video, this entire thing basically shows how integral part of Italian culture and society soccer is. It kind of transcends the traditional boundaries of sports, and enters different realms of the society itself, such as politics. And that political aspect, the relationship to the prime minister with the teams involved, compounded by the fact that it's the same year as the World Cup and all these players involved and general managers involved are also relating to the Italian World Cup team. It just created this huge mess. But the interconnectivity of all this, the politics, the corruption, and of course the soccer, just further proves how much of an important part the sport plays in Italian culture.